This for me, Phil, is one of the fights that just stood out. And Loughran, he's like an express train, and at the moment Alexander O'Sullivan is standing on the tracks. Can the veteran of now 30th fight use that wily against Loughran? Loughran is the white, O'Sullivan the black and red.
And that is, if you've seen a silhouette of either of the Loughran brothers fighting, you would know it was them. It's such a distinctive style.
And is it really not Irish MMA until you see a gentleman wearing GAA shorts in the cage? Loughran looking to load up with that big piston of a right hand.
As we said at the top of the show, 5-0 against 20-9. It may look like a mismatch on paper, but the development in Tiarnan Loughran, it's incredible, especially expedited by the fact he's moved to Team Kaobon.
The inside leg kick's being used. O'Sullivan having a look and seeing what Loughran's offering and gets out of the way. Beautiful head movement by Alexander O'Sullivan.
Lands some beautiful pot shots in the clinch there. Nice short uppercuts.
O'Sullivan cool and calm and composed, as you would expect by a wily veteran. He's 23, it sounds so weird saying a veteran.
I was saying Alexander O'Sullivan has titles in boxing. Just as I say that, lands a beautiful straight. Titles in boxing, titles in K1, multiple titles in mixed martial arts. There's very little left for him to do in the amateur game.
He's got all his experience, and what experience that is going to be when he steps into the pro ranks, but he's not worrying about that right now. He's excellent movement and trying to cut off the cage here for Loughran and giving plenty of feints, using that hand, pawing away the lead jab of Loughran, and nice sharp right jab followed by the left cross just off target for O'Sullivan. Starting to pepper up the face here of Loughran, Phil.
That left straight is one of the best tools that Alexander O'Sullivan has in his arsenal. Double the jab and then unleashes that beautiful straight. And so far he's not given Loughran any time to settle into a rhythm, staying in front of him the whole time.
Really putting the pressure on Loughran here and making him move a lot. So although it's trying to drain the gas tank of Loughran and putting pressure on now, exchanging the clinch here in front of us, up against the cage, landing knees on the inner thigh. Pushing all his weight on Tiarnan.
In that over-under position again, such a grinding, fatiguing position in mixed martial arts. Loughran doing everything he can to reverse the position, separation achieved.
Nice underhook there by Alexander O'Sullivan, didn't allow Loughran to turn it.
Nice.
There's a bit of a blood trickling out of the nose of Tiarnan Loughran here.
Oh, that's a big shot, lead hook.
Nodded off by Loughran, which means you got me.
And again, that left straight just seems to be finding its pathway right down the middle to the chin, to the nose of Tiarnan Loughran.
You can see the 30 fight experience in Alexander O'Sullivan. He's being very calm, being selective in his shots, moving. You can just see in his movement how experienced he is. Big opening round by Alexander O'Sullivan, and you could say the threat of that fast start by Tiarnan Loughran has now been voided.
Left seems to be the greatest tool he has in his arsenal right now.
Loughran has to solve this puzzle, Phil. What's he got to do?
I think he's going to need, he's circling into that left hand. I'd like to see him diversify his movement a little bit and take the fight to Alexander.
That's the thing about Tiarnan, is he has that just explosiveness that this fight could change in a millisecond. But so far, Alexander O'Sullivan has been leading the dance, you feel. Just misses with the head kick. Great to hear a whoop from the crowd there. How we've missed that.
Doubling up on the straight was Alexander O'Sullivan, and it's again.
Beautiful inside leg kick, and you can see the welt on the inside of Tiernan's lead left leg, and hitting that same target repeatedly.
And that's the beauty of that southpaw stance occupied by Alexander O'Sullivan.
Tiarnan Loughran in for a double leg takedown here. Widespread base by Alexander O'Sullivan. Has two underhooks here.
What he needs to do right now is try and bring that base up of Tiarnan Loughran. Tiarnan obviously trying desperately to get those hands connected and score that double leg takedown. Edging ever closer to connecting those hands. Switches to the single.
And again, this is where the experience will tell of Alexander O'Sullivan. He has been in this position so many occasions where guys want to take him down.
and he's not trying to force anything to happen. He was just biding his time. Nice work from Tiarnan. Hands into the takedown. Be absolutely huge. Has the hands connected? Can he score the takedown on Alexander? But again, look at just how calm Alexander looks there.
And even in that exchange, beautiful defensive shelling by Alex, that he didn't even take a shot there of what Loughran threw.
Alexander may try and hit the switch to the inside, abandons it.
Big takedown, Tiarnan Loughran. He needed that with all the pressure he's being put on. But Alexander, he's not going to sit here idly and do nothing. He's going to try and work to better improve his position. Stuffing the head of Tiarnan Loughran down. And look at Alexander O'Sullivan, currently ranked 4th in Western Europe on Tapology. So he is spoken of and thought of in very high regard in the amateur realm. And Tiarnan Loughran shown he belongs at this level as well, Phil.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, to even get in there with someone like Alexander O'Sullivan. Not a lot of hands were going up to fight Alexander on this card, but Tiarnan, being the consummate fighter that he is, wants to test himself against the best opponents available. Again, right in front of us here in our broadcast position, Tiarnan trying to get in on the takedown.
And smart defensive work by Alexander O'Sullivan. I think you got to give the first round to Alexander O'Sullivan. Potentially you could give the second round to Tiarnan, just due to the cage control. But big welt on the elbow, if you look there, Phil, on the right elbow of Tiarnan Loughran from that grappling. Looks like a hematoma on the elbow. Just missed with a piston of a right hand. Alexander, beautiful head movement.
You can really see the quality of boxing there, as I alluded to. A Leinster and Dublin title in boxing.
Tiarnan is certainly stepping up the pace, though.
It's almost as if Tiarnan senses he needs to push the action here. He needs to do something definitive. If he's not going to get the finish, he needs to leave a definitive mark in the eyes of the judges.
Missed with the uppercut. O'Sullivan's head movement is something to marvel at here. To be able to stand in the pocket with somebody so dangerous and just slip minutely out of the way, but Tiarnan lands the kick there.
Again, it's just that minuscule movement of slipping the head.
Potentially this is Alexander O'Sullivan's final amateur fight.
Tiarnan Loughran trying to get in on that ankle and just pop that out underneath Alexander, switching to the high crotch.
This is something, Phil, in mixed martial arts, that Tiarnan is the one pressuring here, but you don't get scored positively for defensive grappling. And in some ways, I think that needs to be looked at in scoring and a mixed martial arts fight, because if you're trying to take me down and I'm stopping you from taking down, surely I'm doing something that deserves credit.
Again, it's one of those grey areas within the criteria of mixed martial arts. It's one of those, it's not a diamond absolute, it's very much subjective to each individual judge, isn't it? Tiarnan desperately trying to get in on that single, and again, just the quiet calm of Alexander here.
Looking to use the Kimura.
That's a beautiful use of the Kimura trap. I love seeing that. People think that it's just a submission, but you can use it to advance your position, and now he's getting in deep on it. May use it to try and bump sweep.
Tiarnan stuffing his right hand between his own legs. He can hold his own shorts if he wishes.
You may see Alexander try and elevate the entire mass of Tiarnan Loughran over his head. Now Tiarnan landing some big shots.
And blood is leaking from the nose of Tiarnan Loughran as he looks to that corner just for some advice. And again, this is an interesting facet of scoring. How are you looking at this? It's Alexander O'Sullivan brought it to the mat with this Kimura. I suppose if it's Tiarnan can break the lock and end up on top, isn't it?
Tiarnan, of course, is allowed to grab his own shorts in this situation as a means of defence. But as you say, it comes down to who's attacking, who's defending.
Because ultimately here, Tiarnan, although he's landing shots here, he is in defensive mode here.
Yeah.
But again, I would argue that the judging we have here on Clan Wars and Ireland as a whole is at a very high level. And there is Loughran slipping out, but straight back to his feet. Alexander O'Sullivan. That's it. What a fight. High level mixed martial arts bout. Tough fight to call. Again, it really comes down to what way the judges see that grappling exchange. The offensive grappling by Tiarnan Loughran, who looked to us, Phil, to sort of say, what do we think is in?
Again, with sincerity, I shrug my shoulders because I don't know.
Yeah.
That it really comes down to each individual judge. How are they subjective with the scoring criteria? Alexander was landing big with the left hand. Tiarnan was in top position, did score takedowns.
Ultimately here, we're going to go to the judges' scorecards, and I think no matter what card and what winner I read out, we're going to have a disappointed party because they will feel they have done enough to get the decision.
Without a shadow of a doubt, no.